Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Streamatrix. My name is Neil, and you're back watching your future favorite football channel. And it is an auspicious occasion, which is why we are wearing a bit more traditional clothes. To anybody watching, happy Diwali to all of you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful celebration of light. With RUUD at the helm, we have a big game coming up this weekend, against Chelsea at Old Trafford, and hopefully RUUD can do his magic as he had done last night with Leicester again, where we defeated Leicester 5-2. I mean, that game was something out of the ordinary altogether because it could have easily been 7 or 8 goals altogether. Yep, I mean, the chances were there even in the games before, and yesterday we were at least clinical enough to be able to finish those chances. But it was a bit more predictable because once a manager gets the sack, the players get a little bit more aggressive on the pitch. And yesterday also, when we conceded one goal, when it was 2-1 to us, I think we just kept our heads up and kept going. And that's the attitude we need to have in all the games. It's yet to see if it's sustainable or not, and if RUUD's able to work his magic on the remainder of the 3 games. It's a year of changes for Manchester United. First with our ownership, then with the manager right now, with Amorim set to be taking the charge. It's not yet formally confirmed, but we have gotten the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and all the other media outlets are talking about it as well, that Ruben Amorim will be joining Manchester United from the 10th of November after he has finished his after he has taken care of the SC Braga and the Man City games for Sporting Lisbon right now. And yep, I mean, he's the hot property in terms of the upcoming managers. 39 years of age, he would be the youngest Manchester United manager in its history, and I think yep, it's the future will be exciting. It was very sad to see Ten Hag go, to be honest. I was Ten Hag in all the way, but then I think the results were inevitable. 14th in the league, 21st in the Europa League. I don't think there was any place to hide. It's not all on Ten Hag. I think the players also need to take responsibility for it, and they showed a little bit of a comeback. But to be fair, Leicester was playing somewhat of their B team, and the real test is going to be Chelsea coming up this weekend. So yep, this is going to be the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview. Coming up next is the Premier League preview first, wherein we are going to discuss all the matches coming up this weekend and do our predictions, and then I will head to the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview. So buckle up for that. Yeah, perfect. How are you, Enzo? And happy Diwali to you as well. Good to see you back.
Diwali, my friend. yeah, no, it's good to be back. Then all my neighbors got their lights up. It's pretty cool. Had fireworks going last night.
Right. So, first and foremost, Adam was saying that you've become TikTok famous. What's that story all about?
So I ended up buying a last-minute ticket to go see Travis Scott. I've got around like 25,000 views in about less than 36 hours.
Oh wow, so, man! I need to follow your formula.
Likes. Yeah, I don't even know, because I've like on TikTok I've posted like 6 videos.
Yeah.
And they average around like 3,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this, and it was like 200 views. The first one was like 200 views after like an hour. I'm like, oh, this ain't doing shit. Ended up staying up till 4 a.m. and it was up at like 50,000. And I was like, oh shit.
But anyways, coming back to this, what do you make of, firstly, I have to ask you this, about Ten Hag being sacked and Amorim coming in for him?
Yeah, so I was just up one night, as I usually am. I've got a shit sleep schedule thanks to the Premier League time zones.
Yeah.
And I think I was chatting to you before on Discord.
Yeah.
Before it, and then you were saying something about Amorim early in the season.
Yep.
And yeah, I was just like, I saw something. I was like, Fabrizio posted. I got a notification from Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I went. I don't really use Twitter. They should have let him stay till Christmas. I'm not saying I wish terrible results and you guys to get relegated, because you're one of the best clubs in history.
Yeah.
But it's to let him spend all that money and to let him go 7 games into the season, it's not the smartest idea. in my view.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought Ajax to you guys, and
Mm-hmm.
now those players probably aren't going to play.
Hmm.
I'm just not sure that your owners have made the right decision
Hmm.
and letting him go this early into the season. Obviously, you guys made signings, and you
Yeah.
guys have had injuries,
Yeah.
so that has become a big part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just about it's like West Ham right now. They made a bunch of signings, and they're just only just starting to glue now.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it was
Yeah.
definitely a tough call. Yeah, I did see it coming. I did mention that, especially after the Spurs game, I mentioned that the 3 to 5 games that comes after that, I think that's a sort of a test for Ten Hag if he can turn things around. I mean, I've always liked Ten Hag. I've always been Ten Hag in, but to be very honest, I am not really surprised by the decision. I mean, I as a fan agree with it to an extent. Yes, I think that I also thought that maybe he might get time till the December, but then I mean it becomes an irreversible damage if we end up still staying 14th in December, because then you have the risk of not being in the top 10 at all, because you would have played half the games that you would play in the league to an extent. So for me, for the signings part that you mentioned, I do think that those signings that were brought in, that were not just Ten Hag signings, because to an extent Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada, I think both of them were really heavily involved along with Wilcox, because Ten Hag wanted McTominay and Amrabat to stay, but Wilcox said no. I mean, in recent interview with Amrabat as well, he was asked why didn't you stay at Manchester United, and then he mentioned ask Mr. Wilcox, because he was not for it. He wanted the hierarchy wanted Manuel Ugarte to come in, and you can understand that Ugarte was not liked by Ten Hag, because usually Ten Hag, if he likes a player, he'll just put them on the pitch. Like Anthony just had one training, and then he was on the pitch when he joined with against Arsenal. So Ugarte was not being used. Dillit again. Todibo was supposed to be the signing that we go for, but then again, UEFA rules would have banned us from it. But even when we went to Dillit, that was still a Ineos choice. So I do think, and even Euro was not Ten Hag signing; it was still an Ineos signing. So I do think Ineos, to an extent, did a lot of signings which will carry forward and fit the style of Amorim to an extent, especially if you're playing with the back three that he plays right now, like Martinez, Dillit, and a Euro back three would do absolutely great in his system. So I'm not really worried about the signings that they made this time, but I am worried about the fact that a new manager, if he's not able to do his own style, like when Ten Hag came in, he also came in mid-season, and then he was not able to do his own style mid-season. By that I mean that he was not able to get the signings in the first season the way he would have preferably wanted, which is earlier in the window. Anthony came in after we were 3 games into the league already. So I think if he wanted to instill his style of play, he didn't have the players to do that. And I think Amorim, if he comes in and tries to change up the entire style of play for Manchester United right now in the middle of the season, or at least at the beginning, I don't think it's going to bear enough fruit for Manchester United. I don't think. But and if he does not do his system, I mean, the media will be on his back, saying that Amorim is just another Ten Hag who has given up all his style of play. So it's interesting to see what happens. But to an extent, I think that Ten Hag's time was up. I think he was losing the fans to an extent with his interviews and with him constantly choosing players who were out of form, like Rashford and all that. I mean, Ahmad was the player of the month for August, and then he did not get a single game time. So yeah, I do think that I feel sorry for him, but I'm okay with this decision. And especially since Amorim was being looked at by Man City as well. So if you snooze, you lose to an extent. So yeah.
Yeah, and he was also looked in by West Ham.
By West Ham.
I think I am should have gone to a big club that beats them. Anyway. No,
you were waiting for that line. You were waiting for that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
No, but the thing I am concerned about for you guys is you guys are going to have several strikers now. Because once Amorim comes in, he's going to get Victor Gyökeres.
Oh, if he gets Gyökeres, I mean, I will be very happy. I'm going to be very, very, very happy.
I'm telling you, if he does not get him, he will leave United.
Oh,
If
I
he
really
does not
want him
get
to
him, he'll
come,
just say
to
no.
be honest. I'll be very happy if
But then
Gyökeres
you've
comes
got,
in.
then you've got Højlund and Xerxes who are just gonna do fuck all.
No,
And
that's
they're
absolutely
just
fine. I
gonna
think
sit
Xerxes always calls himself as a 9.5. He's not the out and out striker. He's not a penalty box striker. He's more of a build up striker. And if Amorim sticks to his formation, which is more like a 3-4-3, then you have ample space for attackers out there in the front three. So there will be good enough rotation as well. Because if Højlund and I'm not really sure if Gyökeres will come because he has a 70 million euros release clause. So I'm not sure if he will anyways get him in December. And if in this season, if Højlund develops well, I'm not even sure if he'll go for Gyökeres because Gyökeres is going to be 27 next year. And where does that vision then fall on to? Because we are having Chido Obi Martin coming in from the youth setup. And he was signed from Arsenal with the idea that he will transition into the first team football. And he's only 16 years of age, 17 years of age. So yeah.
Yeah, he is a baller, but
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get minutes this season with a new manager.
Not this season. But I think both him and Sekou Kone might be there next season for sure.
Yeah, well, I think, you guys will get Gyökeres because strikers, you look at Lewandowski. He's building up numbers like Lewandowski.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That he did at his age. So he could still go for another 10 years at this rate, at this pace. He does it in the Champions League. He's already proved it. Man United can't do it in the Champions League.
Man United first we need to reach there in the Champions League. But if you see, when Højlund came in and we were in the Champions League, he was the joint top scorer in the group stage. He didn't score a single Premier League goal by then, but he already had 5 Champions League goals. So I do think that Højlund has a lot of potential to touch a high ceiling. But again, if we get Gyökeres, I'm not going to be upset at all. Like it's then the job is of the manager of how he wants to rotate the team and how he wants to build the team. To be honest,
I think if you get him, Rashford's gonna go. He's got to go.
I think it's high time. I am okay selling Rashford. He's going to be 29, I think 28 next year. I think if you want to get like 70-80 odd million, I think this is the right time. Otherwise, I don't think closer to 30, we might even sell him for 40.
Right now. No one else.
No
one would.
It's his brand.
Like,
I mean,
if it was 2 seasons ago when he had that really insane run, like 100%, even upwards.
Yeah, I think though, but if PSG comes into the picture, we can at least rinse them for a 65 plus add-ons, like a 8 or a 10 million add-ons. So even then, that would end up being a 75 million sale. So, and if he transitions, sorry,
I think he'll stay in England.
I don't think he will. If he leaves Manchester United, he's gone to PSG or something. I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think he'll come to West Ham. I don't think he'll play in any other English team. He will be a very good addition for West Ham, of course, but I don't think he'll stay in England if he is out of Manchester United. I mean, it's his boyhood club. He won't play against them in the England, I don't think. But yeah, again, you never say never, and anything can happen in football. But coming to the games this weekend now, I mean, a couple of bangers in there: Newcastle versus Arsenal. Then you have Liverpool versus Brighton. And then you have Spurs and Villa, Chelsea and United. Who is West Ham playing? Forest? Oh, that's an easy West Ham win. Sorry, spoiler alert for the prediction. No, it's not. I mean, Forest are in a very good form. I don't know. They are the most. They are the team which have surprised me the most this season. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Wood scores against us. I wouldn't be surprised. He's playing so well.
Yeah, he has.
I'm just going to put this out there. It's a bit off topic, but I think Chris Wood is the most underrated striker in Premier League history right now.
He is.
As of right now, current.
And Esposito is rinsing him of his talent, to be honest. Like, he's like rinsing the last ounce of whatever he can get with him, to be honest. He's doing a real good job.
I mean, I'm just putting this out there for everyone who watches the VODs and shit and the YouTube videos, and this is directly at people who say, oh, he's just an average striker. Apart from the Newcastle season when he was there, he has got 10 plus goals a season in the Premier League for like the past 9 years.
And that too playing for Nottingham Forest, right? So yeah.
Actually, that's wrong. It's like 7 years because he's only got like 70 goals. But like 7 years in the Premier League, and he averages over 10 goals.
Yeah.
And he's played for like Burnley. He's played for Forest, who were fighting relegation.
Mhm.
You know, he hasn't had it easy. He hasn't got. If he played at City, right?
Yeah.
He'd have Haaland goals. He's that type of finisher.
I don't think he'll have a Haaland goals, but
No, he doesn't have the acrobatics, but he's got the finish.
yeah. I mean, 14 goals for Forest last season, 7 goals already this season in 9 appearances. That's crazy amount of numbers, to be honest. For
And then
Chris
he's got 3 for New Zealand in 2 games.
Mhm. What's his age?
He's
32. All right. No, I don't think. Yeah, but then again, like if you look at his Burnley start, also that's also pretty good, like you were saying. So yeah, I mean he's a good talent, but I don't think again like at the age of 32, I think this is going to be his Forest will be his last stint in the Prem. I think then he might move to some other league if he can. Yeah.
I think he'll probably. Yeah. He might stay in England because he's been there. Like he moved from New Zealand at 14.
Right.
He's been there like most of his life. But if anything, like once he gets like 35, he'll come and play for like Auckland or Wellington. I think, in the A League. You know, he'll just represent.
Okay. All right. So let's start with one team at a time. First match coming up: Newcastle versus Arsenal. Who are you rooting for?
Arsenal. Newcastle have been very poor this season.
Yeah.
Very, very.
So you're going for Arsenal win?
Arsenal win.
Yeah. All right. And what's the scoreline that you're predicting for Arsenal versus Newcastle?
3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I think it's going to be an Arsenal win as well. I mean, I can see Newcastle trying to bounce back, to be honest. But then again, their Prem form has been absolutely bad. Like in the last 5 matches, it's loss, draw, loss. And the losses have been to Chelsea, to Brighton, to Fulham. So, yeah, I think Arsenal will win. But I do think Newcastle might put in a couple of goals past them. So I'm going to go with a 3-2 win for Arsenal. All right. So the next one upcoming, Bournemouth versus Manchester City. I mean, it's boring to predict anything else.
I looked at this game and I was like, they did it against Arsenal, but are they going to do it against City? Absolutely not.
Nah. No, they won't. No.
Yeah, City haven't been scoring though. That's the thing. They haven't been scoring. They've been low scoring. So I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah, and I'm also going with the low scoring goal, low scoring game, because again Pep came out saying that this is the biggest injury crisis he has faced in Manchester City since he joined apparently. So it is going to be tough on them. But again, Bournemouth does have a good squad, and they have good strikers in Enes Ünal as well. So I think they might just put. You know what? I want to go a little bit left field here, and I'm going to go with the draw. Man City versus Bournemouth. It's at Bournemouth, Man City away. They might be riled up, so I'm going to go for a draw. Man City and Bournemouth, 2-2. Yeah. Again, it might come back to bite me, but let's go for some differentials. Okay, next game, Ipswich versus Leicester.
I don't think Leicester will win. Yeah. They've just come off the 5-2 loss.
Mm-hmm.
My heart wants to say Ipswich, but I'm going to go with a draw, 1-1.
Okay, you're going with the draw, and I am going for an Ipswich win. I think again Leicester will try to bounce back from their loss, but if Ipswich needs a point, and they are playing compared to the other team in the relegation zone right now, which is Wolves and Southampton. Again, Leicester is very their defense is good, but Ipswich need a win. Like the last 5 games, it's a draw, loss. So I think they're going to try and win this one, and. If they win this and Crystal Palace lose, that puts Crystal Palace in the relegation zone. I am really surprised by Palace and Wolves, their form so far. But yeah, anyways, we'll come to it. I'm going for an Ipswich win. It's going to be a low-scoring match. I might go with a 1-0 Ipswich win against Leicester. Okay, next one, Liverpool versus Brighton.
We just had this match midweek.
Mm-hmm.
3-2 to Liverpool. It
Liverpool.
was. But I think this one, Liverpool are gonna have their strongest squad. Yeah.
And it's at the Anfield as well.
Yeah, it's at Anfield. So they did only just sneak past Brighton
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, I think it was, or earlier
Yep.
today for you. But I'm gonna say Liverpool 3, Brighton 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm also going to go with the Liverpool win, and I'm going to go with I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Liverpool. But yeah, let's see. All right. So next match, you have to take it up. West Ham fan, go for it. Not Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. What's your gut saying?
Forest versus West Ham.
Are you going to
My
go
gut
against West Ham?
my gut saying we are absolutely terrible. But nah, we are showing good signs, and it is away, and we are going to win, of course. We haven't won away at Nottingham Forest in a couple seasons. So I'm gonna go for a 3-2 West Ham win.
Okay. All right. So with the Nottingham Forest, I think I want to say a draw for this one. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham, and I'm going with sort of like a last minute draw for any of the team. It can be either West Ham or Nottingham, for like a 90th minute or a 91st minute draw for either of the teams. Sort of like.
In this game, if James Ward-Prowse scores as a free kick against us. Score a free kick for us. His free kicks for us were terrible. I swear to God, if he scores a free kick against us, I'm going to break my monitor.
Are you going to do a watch along for this one?
When is it? Sunday, 4 a.m. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
perfect.
No. Yeah, I'll just stay up studying.
All right. But anyways, we are going to be live on Discord any which way, so you can hang around there and discuss about the match then. But all right, so Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. You're going with the West Ham win. I'm going with the draw for this one. Forest versus West Ham. Next up is Southampton versus Everton. What are you saying?
Southampton looking terrible. Everton likewise. But it's at St. Mary's. I'm going to say draw. 2-2.
Okay. I am going to go with I'm going to go with the Everton win for this one. I think Southampton are in a big danger zone. I think Southampton are going down no matter what. I think I'm going to go with an Everton win for this one, like a 1-0 win. Southampton are not scoring goals as well.
I was a draw or Everton win. I don't think Southampton have it at all.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They're just not looking convincing.
Absolutely not.
But again, Everton are probably going to go 2 goals up and lose.
Oh,
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah. At Southampton, that can be easily possible. It might end up being a draw, But I'm going to go with an Everton win for this one. I just really want to see them win at least a couple of matches and stay up. But yeah, all right. So that's it. Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Who are you supporting for this one?
Oh God, relegation
battle.
Just Wolves haven't looked good at all.
No.
I mean, Palace just off the back of 2 wins actually. One in the League Cup and one in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna back them and I'm gonna say 2-0 Palace.
2 Palace. Okay, perfect. I am going to go with the differential. I'm going to go for a Wolves win for this one. And this will be like a 2-1 scoreline, but I'm going to go for a Wolves win. Again, like Everton, I want to see Wolves win, to be honest. Because again, they have a good manager. They have decent players. I don't know why it's not working out for them right now. It should ideally turn around. Gary O'Neill, yeah. And I think there has to be some amount of accountability there, and I think that it is possible. But let's see if it's possible. A big because this is at Wolves, and this is their best shot of trying to win a match and trying to escape from the relegation zone. Because now it's all about numbers for them, so they have to just try and keep their head up. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Against Palace, I think Mark Gahey is just gonna. Yeah, I just think
Yeah.
he'll do better. I mean, Wolves are without a win.
Yeah. They just have 1 point. That's crazy. From 9.
1 point,
2
and that
points
was
from 9. Yeah.
I mean, that was what a 90 plus something equalizer that they
Yeah.
just got.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
don't know
hopefully
how
they
Brighton
turn it
was
around.
with that. Did you see that video? Did you see
I
the
s-
highlights from that?
I saw the highlights, yeah.
How did Brighton not finish that? 4v1, and he manages to pass it to the Wolves defender.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
in a lot of sense, I just think that when you are in that zone, you just lose your mind to an extent where you have so many options to choose from. I'm sure if it was a 2v1 or a 1v1, I'm sure that he would have just put all of his power behind the ball to just score the goal. But yeah, just such is
I
life.
think in that kind of gotta take on the defender and then cut it back rather than
Yeah,
go straight for the cross, because there's always that chance that he is gonna intercept or play an offside trap.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's I mean, Wolves again. I hope that there is some amount of an optimism there, but let's see what will happen. Next up is Spurs versus Villa. This is going to be a good game. The battle of 4th versus 8th, and they already have a 5-point difference. Villa and Spurs. Villa are again doing exceptionally well, really solidifying themselves in the top 4. So, what are you thinking? Spurs versus Villa.
Spurs versus Villa. Villa off a loss in the League Cup. Tottenham off a win against City. Tottenham off a loss in the league. Aston Villa, I can't even remember. But I'm going for a draw.
Draw. 2-2.
Yeah, 1-1. No.
1-1. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go with a Spurs win for this one. I think Spurs are a little bit fired up after their recent win as well in the Carabao Cup. I think Spurs can do it, especially since it's in their home ground. It's not going to be an easy game whatsoever. I think Villa are going to put 2 past Spurs. Can Spurs put 3 past Villa? I mean, it can be a draw, 2-2 draw as well. But I'm going to say Spurs win, maybe 3-2. Then comes Manchester United versus Chelsea. RUUD's second game in charge.
I'm triple captaining Parma for this. You
You
saw what he did last time.
Yeah.
What he did last
Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
Palmer. I watched that. I was in a biology lecture, and they were like dissecting hearts, and I was with my best mate, who's a Man United, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, it smelled like shit. I think it was like pig hearts and something. And I was like, yeah, nah, screw it. I'm going outside. I'm watching the football. And we watched it from about the 75th minute. United were like 3-1 up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and my mate, he was buzzing. And then it's 3-2, 89 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they get the penalty. Chelsea get the penalty.
Yes.
And it's 3-3. He couldn't believe it. He was just about in tears. And then he was looking away. He was talking to someone when Palmer got the cross in. And then he shot it in the deflection. And I started celebrating a Chelsea win. I never thought I'd say that in my life, but it was so funny, man. We're like, oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, equally passionate was the draw against Chelsea that we did at Stamford Bridge with Casemiro's last minute goal. To be honest, so I think I mean, see, these two teams when they are at each other.
Sorry? What's that? 3 goals in 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, he got 2 last night. He got 1 before, just the game before. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Ballon d'Or is another topic altogether. But then again, I think United versus Chelsea always have like sort of a high-scoring match. And considering the fact that we were able to be at least somewhat clinical against Leicester, gives me a little bit of hope. But I do still think that we are really bad at finishing when it comes to the Prem. Our goal difference is like the number of goals we scored in the Prem is 8. Like, it is insane. I think even Ipswich has scored more goals than us with 9. So that's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's we're in a very, very bad state. we have scored 8 and Chelsea have scored 19 in the Prem. So yeah, that just shows the difference. But I'm still going to back. Sorry?
How many did Haaland have? How many did Haaland have in 3 games?
Oh, Haaland. But Haaland has dipped. I mean, his form has dipped so bad.
Yeah, no, he had nine or 10 goals in 3 games.
Yeah.
Now he's got like 1 goal and like 4.
Yeah, I mean, he's dipped. He's wasting my captaincy and my spot in the team, to be honest, right now. In my FPL. Yeah.
Not captaining him this week.
But anyways, like Manchester versus Chelsea, I'm gonna go. You went with the Chelsea win, is it? What's your score? What's your
Chelsea win 3 goals to 2.
Chelsea win 3-2. I am going for a Manchester United win and the same scoreline 3-2. Let's see who gets to have the cake at the end of the Sunday. So this is a late match. What time is it going to be for you? This match. It's 10 p.m. for me.
5:30. 5:30 a.m.
Will you be up to watch that? I don't think so, no?
On the Monday? No. I've got an exam.
Yeah.
I've got 2
but
exams
anyways,
that day.
I'm going to if it's 3-2 for Manchester United, I think I'm going to post a lot of text on Discord any which ways, so you can wake up and respond once you're done with your exam. Yeah, but then finally it's Fulham versus Brentford. Who are you supporting for this one? I mean, they are both like pretty much equal right now. 9th and 10th is their rank on the table. Who are you going for?
9th and 10th, Fulham. They've kind of been a bit shaky this season.
Yeah.
Brentford, they're always around that mid-table, and then they drop off later in the season. But they haven't lost to Fulham since 2022, early 2022. So I'm gonna say Brentford win.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Craven Cottage. It's a draw.
It's a Craven Cottage. Draw. All right. So it's changed. The percentage changed. It's a draw. I'm going for a Brentford win and a narrow win, 2-1 at that.
Yeah, 1-1 draw.
Yeah, 1-1 draw. Perfect. All right, so that's it for the predictions. And I mean, when you look at the table, it's just too bad to see in terms of the positions, because on the 12th, 13th, and 14th we have Newcastle, West Ham, and Manchester, and on the 7th, 8th, and 9th we have Forest, Spurs, and Brentford. Like, I mean, it's just crazy how the tables have flipped. I mean, West Ham ideally should be around the 8th and 9th position. Newcastle and Manchester should be around the 5th and 6th or 7th position. So Spurs are where they're at. It's 8th. It's fine. I mean, I did not expect Spurs to get top 4 right away. Like it is going to be an uphill battle. But towards the end of the season, I think the pack will rearrange, and I can see Newcastle, West Ham, and Manchester finishing in the top half of the table for sure. I think Brentford, Fulham, and Bournemouth will drop off to an extent.
Yeah, no, Tottenham can't catch strays. I was at the Travis Scott concert and I started, what do we think of Tottenham?
Yeah.
And he did. It was loud.
Yeah.
Like, there were like 50,000 people or something at the stadium.
Yeah.
And the mosque was probably like 30. And I was like, what do you think of Tottenham? And yeah, they were pretty loud. No one I saw one guy in a Tottenham shirt and I said, you're a dickhead.
Man, Enzo, I think we need mods for your live comments as well when you're going out in the concerts. But no way. Tottenham don't catch strays. I think every like live sporting event at least has it once. Like at the Women's World Cup when it was held here. Mm-hmm.
People were chanting it. It was a drunk like 20-year-olds, and they were just like, "What do you think of Tottenham?"
Yeah, I think Tottenham's chant is like pretty uniformly expert. I think even their supporters will sing that because it's just a funny chant to an extent.
And my mates that support Tottenham, they don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was with my mates, and they don't really watch football.
Mm-hmm.
And when they heard how many people were like chanting it back, they were like, "What the fuck? Like, is it? No one likes Tottenham.
Yeah, I think if
But
they start watching
other one
football,
that
they will still hate
surprised me-
Tottenham.
The other one that surprised me is like we were just like talking and stuff, and then I hear, "Oh, Thiago Silva." I was like, "What the fuck? We're at a Travis Scott concert." No, it's some like football match. Like
Yeah.
the Thiago Silva thing was going on for like 3 minutes.
Oh.
Yo. Yeah, so he's a one in a lifetime defender.
Yeah, it
You
does.
don't hear that
I mean,
about you don't hear that from Rio Ferdinand, do you?
no.
Oh, Rio Ferdinand.
You don't hear that when he's on the ground as well. So yeah, I mean, Thiago Silva has a different kind of a respect altogether. And also, like, again, I don't think the young fans right now will be even familiar with Rio and Vidic of old. Leave alone their chance to be sure. So yeah. But coming to FPL,
Oh, fuck off.
coming to FPL,
I've had I think last week I had a good week.
you had a
but-
good week. You made up the league. Now you're just 1 point behind me. So I need to be careful if this week can be a deciding factor. But this is how it stood last week, at least. Palmer and Haaland and Saka sort of like saved me. Even Smith Rowe had a good week, but I'm not sure as to how it's going to line up for this week. Should I keep Luis Diaz, because Diaz has not really come to life post the first few matches, but he's always looks like he's going to score.
He was really good in pre-season.
And also the first couple of games, he put 2 past us on the first game as well when they faced us at Old Trafford. So yeah.
I mean, my team, it's I'll tell you my team: David Raya, Saliba, Kanate, Virgil at the back. I'm really happy with that defense.
Yeah.
I might want to swap out Saliba for Gabriel because Gabriel can get that. And I don't know, is Saliba still out? Is he still under?
Let me see that.
a recard, or was that only 1 game?
Let me see Saliba. Gabriel is, but he's in just in yellow. I'm not sure. Right, let's search for Saliba. No, he's not out. He's not out. He's going to be there.
I got minus points 2 weeks ago because I had Kudus and Saliba. So
Yeah.
fuck off. That was
I saw that.
a terrible week. I got rid of Kudus.
Yeah.
Got rid of Kudus. But yeah, Mavadidi, I think he is exceptional. I think he's for Leicester. He's underrated. Saka, Smith Rowe, Palmer. Got Palmer as my captain for this week. Nicholas Jackson, Danny Welbeck, and Erling Haaland. Danny Welbeck has surprised me this season.
Yeah. Apparently, Ten Hag wanted to sign Danny Welbeck this season, but then he wanted to bring him back to Manchester United. But I'm really unsure right now. Do I want to make any changes or not? I mean, Watkins has not really been firing as well. I mean, I'm at a loss for what I should be doing. I have a couple of free transfers. I'm thinking, should I bring in 2 completely different strikers? So this is going to be my final team for now, for the next couple of weeks at least. And I'm going to bring in Wissa for Buonanotte. So that's going to be my team for this week. I'm not sure, Enzo, if you are still on mute. Let me know once you're back. But yep, that was it in terms of the Premier League preview, as well as my FPL team as well. We have done a little bit, and both Enzo and I have gotten quite a few differentials while predicting the team, the wins for this particular weekend. And it's going to be an interesting weekend as well. Quite a few interesting matches out there. And I will be focusing on the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview, which is coming up next. But before that, I think overall this weekend can be a good one. Good watch of football. Starting with the first game, Newcastle versus Arsenal. So yep, for all the football fans out there, if you disagree with our predictions, let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I will be also putting on the shot for this prediction and see who got more right for this particular game week. So yep, that's been it for Premier League preview with Enzo, and we will be starting with the Manchester United preview coming up next right now. Oh, right. Enzo, I will catch up with you, buddy, later on, but I'm going to hang up for now and see you soon in the next one when you have the time. And there it is. All right, so I'm just checking the message. Enzo saying, sorry, mate, someone at the door. No worries. I'm going to see you in the next one, and I'm going to put up the shot for our predictions as well. So, yep, take care and have a good day, man. It was good to have you on from time to time. But let's focus now back on Manchester United versus Chelsea, and this is going to be an interesting game for both the teams. To be honest, I think it has the potential to live up to a high-scoring match, considering the game that we had last night for Manchester United versus Leicester, and for Chelsea, they're in general in a good form. So let's first look at how Chelsea is faring right now, and if you see their form overall, they've had a couple of wins in their last 5 matches, but that came against Newcastle and which team is this? Panathinaikos. I'm not sure. I'm sure this is in the Conference League maybe, but they lost against Liverpool and they lost against Newcastle as well. But overall, where they are right now in the table is what matters more. They've scored 19 goals so far. In the 5th position, they have won 3 of their last 5 Premier League matches. So they won against West Ham 3-0, then they won against Brighton 4-2, and they won against Newcastle 2-1. They lost against Liverpool 2-1, which was fairly given because they were not having a good match or any which ways, and they drew against Forest 1-1. So I think they're going to come up with their guns blazing. I'm sure Chelsea will be raring to go. And compare that with Manchester United. It's we've scored 8 and conceded 11. We've scored 11 less than Chelsea so far this season, and we've had only 1 win in the last 5 matches that came against Brentford, and then we've had 2 losses and 2 draws. So yeah, I think overall our form has not been really good at all. So let's see, let's wait and see what RUUD can do with our team, and if we are able to fare well in terms of these of this match against the players of Chelsea who are going to come up as well. So let's look at Chelsea's main top-rated players and top scorers. Cole Palmer is the one to watch for this weekend. I'm not sure if I should captain him or not because I really don't have any Manchester United players in my FPL team right now. I don't think we are doing really well in the Premier League. So unless we start doing well, I don't think I'm going to include any in my FPL. But Palmer has been there since game week 1, if I'm not wrong. And Palmer is the one to watch out for. I think Sancho is going to play. Sancho has not played for Chelsea in the last couple of games, but I think he's going to play. He's going to have a vengeance, a point to prove. And I think Maresca will use that. And I think Sancho might end up having a good game for Chelsea. I don't think he's going to be on the score sheet, but I'm sure he'll get an assist is the feeling that I'm getting. So yeah, I think Cole Palmer is the one to watch. Sancho is another one to watch. And I also think Pedro Neto and Nkunku will be another couple of players to watch out for as well. But I do think Cole Palmer is going to be on the score sheet in this particular week against Manchester United. But I have predicted that we will win 3-2, and I am going to back my team until the very end. So let's see how that fares. Yep, that's been it for Chelsea. Let's go back to Manchester United now. Let's look at our form, our abysmal form. The only good thing that came out of the last couple of matches, games, is that against West Ham, we had I thought we would have put the game to bed within the first half itself. We had chances to make it 5-0 or 6-0 in the first half. I'm exaggerating, I think, but a 3-0 would have been an ideal scoreline against West Ham in the first half. But if you don't put chances to bed in the first couple of minutes, I don't think it's going to come back to you in the second half. And in the second half, West Ham just put us up on the back foot, and we had just lost all our momentum that we gathered in the first half, and it infamously led to the sack of Erik Ten Hag. And RUUD is up at the helm right now. Let's get behind RUUD and let's see where he can lead us in the next 3 matches before Amorim comes in on November 10th. Our form, as you can see, we put 5 past against Leicester. Against Leicester's defense was nowhere in the last match. I think Leicester put up somewhat of their B team, so I'm not sure if there was any sort of a correlation with that. And also a new manager bounce, the manager just being sacked, the players were emotionally revved up. So I think that, and because contrary to popular belief, I don't think Ten Hag had lost the dressing room. In my opinion, there were players there who would have had his back. So it was sort of like a statement match for them. Yep, that was against Leicester that we had put 5 goals past them. And in our league, we are 14th in the league right now. I mean, I don't even want to look at our position. Hopefully, we can get a few more wins under our belt, and there are good times up ahead, especially with RUUD and Amorim coming into the picture. If you look at our top-rated players, it's Diogo Dalot, who is our top-rated player. Though I do think that Dalot's form has dipped over the past couple of matches. Not just about him missing the open goal in West Ham. There are a lot of memes about it. But I think overall his defense, he's switching off in defense for some from time to time. He is a good player. I think he's potentially is going to be fixed to our team for the next few years as well. And I do think that he needs to find his form back, and it's important for him that he does that. And then we have Garnacho, who is in a good run of form in terms of goal, in front of goal. So it's going to be good for Garnacho as well if he can get on the scoreline tomorrow. And then we have Bruno in the top assists for now. I mean, scoring 8 goals in the league, I'm not really sure that if there should be a top scorer at all or whatsoever. But then again, it's just how it is. But I think Garnacho, if I saw the stats right, he had 10 goal involvements in 15 starts in this season, and I think that's a good stats to have, and that will surely give him confidence for the upcoming match. Now let's do a bit of a match preview, our head-to-head, before I come back to the injuries part for Manchester United. So yep, in our head-to-head, it's pretty even all over. 14 wins to us, 13 draws, and 12 wins to Chelsea. In the last couple of matches, so we've won in the last 5 matches. We have won 2, we have drawn 2, and Chelsea has won 1. And I think infamously, the last loss that we had 4-3 against Chelsea, I think the last minute we switched off, last couple of minutes, and Enzo was speaking about this in our previous segment as well. We switched off and we paid the price for it. Hopefully we don't switch off this time and we continue to excel and work our magic, and so that we can create more chances. I have predicted a 3-2 win for Manchester United, but let's see how we can do that, especially with the injuries that we have. Because if you see the injury list for Chelsea, it's just Ben Chilwell. For us, we have Anthony, who is injured. Maguire is injured. Meno is injured. Euro, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Mazraoui, Collier, and Malassia. I don't think Mazraoui will be doubtful for this match. I think he's going to play. Malassia, Collier, Mason Mount, Luke Shaw, Lenny Euro, Maguire, and Anthony might be out. I think Menu might be on the bench if he has recovered. I haven't gotten an update from the training of this match whatsoever. So there can be a possibility that he does not get game time, but I think he might be on the bench. And Anthony, he came on and then he got subbed off. He again pulled his muscle apparently, but I don't think Anthony will be featuring in the starting 11. So when we are talking about starting 11, let's quickly look at the team that has the possibility to be fielded by RUUD against Chelsea. Let me get that up. Yep. All right. So this team is what we're going to go ahead with. It's a blank slate and we're going to build the team on the fly. So let's first start with the goalkeeper, and we have to go with Andre Onana for this one. Again, Onana has come back into form. He's made a couple of big saves, but I also do think that Onana's form in terms of goals, shot stopping, needs to be a little bit more improved and better. But again, he has been a standout performer for us this season, especially with the number of goals that he has saved overall, and also a penalty that he saved recently. So yeah, I think he's been doing good. So he's going to be, of course, starting for this match. Dillit will start this one as well. He had started the match against Leicester, but this is on Sunday, so I think he's going to get enough rest to start this one. And also Martinez. Now Martinez might start against left back. We might see a very similar back four as we had seen against Leicester, with Lindelof as well. So Martinez can play left back and Lindelof can come in as centre back. Yeah, he might go with Mazraoui as well, depending on how Mazraoui's fitness stands. Mazraoui featured for I think only the last couple of minutes against Leicester, so there is a chance that Mazraoui starts. But in case, even if Mazraoui starts, I think he's going to be subbed off in the second half. So yeah, that's what I'm going with for now for the back four, which is Lindelof, Martinez, De Ligt, and Dalot. For our midfield, it's going to be pretty much nailed on Casemiro and Ugarte. Yeah, I think they had a very good game against Leicester. I think Ugate's engine and Casemiro's brain are the two things that are going to do a very good partnership. I don't know why Ten Hag did not start Casemiro and Ugarte together in the previous matches, but it was surely a good sight to see against Leicester, and I do think it's going to be a good sight to see against Chelsea as well. If we start them, we will get a lot of hold in the midfield with these two bodies, and then we will of course have Bruno as our cam position. As our left winger, I'm going to go with Garnacho for this one, and as our right winger, I'm going to go with Rashford for this one. I don't think RUUD is going to change up the team too much. I can see Ahmad starting as well, but I think for this one we need pace, and I think Rashford and Garnacho gives us that. And up front will be Højlund. I think Zirkzee was given the start in the Leicester game, but I don't think he proved himself really well. He needs to get up to pace with the Premier League. We had seen Højlund struggling with form as well when he came into the team, and it took him like I think 4 or 5 months to get his first goal in the Prem. So yeah, I do think Zirkzee might come good as well. But for now, Højlund is going to start against Chelsea this weekend. So this is the team that I'm going with. I think RUUD is going to stick to this team as well. The only possible change that might be is that Lindelof might go out to make place for Mazraoui at left back. But apart from that, I don't think there's going to be a different team altogether. On the bench, we'll have Eriksen there as well. Eriksen is another player who might feature, but I think against Chelsea, we will want to get a hold of the midfield, and playing Casemiro and Ugarte will give us the physical option, and Eriksen can come on in the second half if we are in a good position. Yep, I think this is the team I'm going with for Manchester United versus Chelsea. Let me know what are your predictions. I'm going with a 3-2 win for Manchester United, and I hope that is the case for this one. So yep, that brings us to an end. Us to an end of the Premier League game week preview and the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview. And let me know what are your predictions down below as well. We'll love to hear from you guys. And up next will be my Manchester United career mode on FC25. If you're on Twitch, I'm going to be right back. And if you're on YouTube, it's going to be a new stream altogether, and where I continue my manager career mode in FC25. Yep, I'm going to see you guys there if you're joining me there. And if not, it was good chatting with you. Thank you, Enzo, for coming on to the chat as well and to have a call with us. And from the next time, we are going to get you on video as well. Yep, thank you so much. And I'm going to see you in the next one on YouTube, and I'm going to see you very, very shortly on Twitch. Be right back.